Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey, I am Shawny.
And I'm Melly Mel. Welcome to the unscripted world of Boldly Untitled, the podcast where two untitled best friends of 25 plus years dive into everything life throws their way.
Join us as we chat about relationships, friendships, sex, parenting, life struggles, and the wild journey of entrepreneurship.
Stay tuned for real talk and relatable stories because in this podcast, there are no limits and no titles, just honest, bold conversation.
Melly Mel, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm still tired from Thanksgiving because this is being recorded the Monday after Thanksgiving. So
Mm,
I'm still a little tired. I had
okay.
about 20 people in my house.
Okay. Hostess
And
with the mostest. I see you. See you.
nah, I cooked all the I was exhausted. So I was like looking at people like, y'all still here, huh?
Bruh. That's to me the worst part of hosting people because you can't really enjoy the event because
Unless
you
you're
prepping
hiring
and
a
trying to make sure everything good. And then afterwards you got to clean up. It's like,
unless you're hiring cleanup people, post cleanup people, and chefs, you're not enjoying the event. By the
yeah.
time you all get finished, you're finished with everything. You look at everybody, think like, I'm tired. I don't want to eat this food I done slaved over. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
So
I feel
that
that.
was.
I feel that. That's it.
How was your holiday?
Mine
You
was
don't.
cool. To me, when you say holiday, I'm thinking about the entire week that the kids was at the house.
Oh, they were out all
And
week.
yeah, all week. All
Oh,
week.
I
Their
didn't
last day of
realize
school
that.
was the Friday before the Thanksgiving week, and they got out at
Oh,
1 o'clock that day.
oh,
So, and they had like a little feast thing where you were supposed to come eat with them at the school. So
oh.
really, we dropped them off at 9. I had to be there at 10 to eat with them, and then we left after we ate. So from that day
Oh.
onward, they've
Mm.
been at the house.
Just for you to go 3 weeks and then you go back out again for Christmas for two
Yeah.
weeks?
Yeah.
No, they just need a couple days off for Thanksgiving. I don't need y'all here every day.
Yep. The whole week. So, I've been with them, pretty much all week. So they back to school today. Thank the Lord.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I can get back
Hallelujah.
to my regularly scheduled program.
I know you came in turkey and fresh today, looking
Right?
all
See?
delicious and stuff. You last recording
Yeah.
session, we was like, "Are you okay?"
I was not okay. I was like, yo, it's just a different energy. The energy is different because I don't know. It's just different, child. But
Because
we here now.
realistically, they suck the life out of you.
Yeah, they
Nobody wants
do.
to talk about that part of parenting.
Yeah, because I'm so as an introvert, what happens is when people around you drain you and then you re-energize when you're by yourself. And extroverts are the opposite. They get energy from people. And then when they're by themselves, they kind of get drained and they need to go back with people. So what I realize is that my kids drain me because I'm an introvert. And these three people plus my husband are always draining me.
Mm.
And I need to recoup and regenerate by myself, but I barely get those moments. So I realized that was probably part of why I'm always drained.
I'm an introverted extrovert, I think. I like this summer when I went on vacation for almost 2 weeks with people. I got to a city by myself and I spent a day there. And I was supposed to go out and meet with the travel agent who planned it. And at that point, I didn't want to talk to anybody
Hmm.
because I had talked to people every day. And one of the people that was there with me asked questions. So I know when she listens to this, she's gonna be like, she's talking about me. Yes, I am. Yes, you ask a lot of questions and you know you do. Okay. And I
Yeah.
just needed I needed to decompress. I needed to like I
Yeah.
charge off of people, but at that point I needed to be alone. I needed some me time. I needed to not have to talk to nobody. And I talked on the phone, but it was up to me if I wanted to. I laid there and just scrolled social media and it was perfectly fine. So
Yeah. Yeah. So here we are.
Yeah.
Back at it. Back into the routine.
This is our last episode of this season. This is
I know. I ain't gonna hold you. I think we did a great job not knowing really a whole lot about podcasting. Learning as we go. Right. I feel like a lot of other people would have been like, let's start a podcast. And then a year later, they would have still been like, we're still researching. We're still
we're
trying
still
to figure
researching
this
how to do
out.
this. We
We
have
want to
this
do it
whole
right.
book
And
written out.
yeah, we need to save money to
We
buy the equipment and the lighting. Bitch,
listen, this is
make it do
microphone
what it
number
do.
3, okay? Microphone number 3. And because I suck at sending things out, this is microphone number 3 in my home because I have not sent the other ones back. They're just here. I think I finally got
Ooh.
it right, though. I think I finally found the right mic. Luckily, I
Yeah.
already had the dope headphones that hooks to the mic. So now I can hear what you're hearing when you be like, you sound a mess. So I'm going to apologize to everybody for every other episode before this one where I sound robot-ish. I finally spent some money and got the right mic. And something told me to buy this mic when I bought the last mic. It was only like
Yeah.
$50 more. Being cheap.
Yeah. Well, you get what you pay for sometimes. Most times.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's okay. But look, we got a whole season done.
A whole
We
season.
did like
Look,
8
give it
episodes.
up. And my
Like,
backdrop is changed today. Like, listen,
let's go.
I put us on the TV. Listen, this is not
That's
giving the day
fire.
that I wanted to podcast. Like, I was like, okay, I don't have my drape set up because I gave it out because for an event to my assistant. So she had an event. So I was like, okay, let me give her the drapes. But I mean the pipes. So I didn't feel like going back to get them. So I was like, all right, what can I do? Let me be inventive.
Love
Here
it.
we are.
You're so creative. Everybody's so creative. I love it though. Yeah. You be on it with the creativity. I'll be like, what? I got a
That's
plant.
technically and whose idea was that
I'm
plant?
about to say, because of who? Your ass. Let me tell y'all, this bitch came into my office, was like, I'm not feeling this. This is drab. This is boring. We
It
need to
was
go
very
shopping.
boring.
Basically
I
was
didn't
like, let's go. We went to like 3 or 4 stores.
and I
And she
redid the
made me
office.
spend mad money.
Okay, I spent money too because it was my idea. So I did spend money too.
Did you? I don't recall that
Yes,
part, but okay.
it spent a lot of your money. I did like desk accessories and things like that.
Oh, you
And
did?
she's like, I'm
Okay, well,
done.
yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah. So I really like it in here. But I do feel like I'm ready for something different. It's been like 3
It's
years.
funny because I was saying like, okay, I'm ready. I need this to change now. I need something different for her office.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe I
kind
need
of
to
done
come
with
in. I need to come in. I need
it.
to
Yeah.
go shopping
So
again.
come on. Anyway.
So listen, Mel,
Yes.
have you heard about the Diddy and Cassie thing? Cassie.
Bitch,
Cassidy,
yes.
Cassie.
I have. I have. And no, I did not read that whole 30 whatever page thing, but I did get a breakdown from an attorney on TikTok.
Okay. But okay. All right. What the attorney say?
Yeah.
Because I haven't read the 35-page thing either. I haven't.
Who's reading it? Who got
I
time for
have
that?
access to it, but I haven't read it. Keep going. Break it down.
Well, I mean, basically,
Wait, before we start, this is a trigger warning. At any traumas,
yeah.
you will have triggers from this. Okay.
Yeah, so apparently,
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly,
We can't afford to be
she
sued.
no, we ain't got no money.
Not a penny. Gotta
So
kill.
basically, allegedly, she was saying how, he used to force her into sexual acts and recorded all of them, and then she would try to find the footage and delete it, and then she would get her ass beat and stuff like that. And he was like very, possessive, of course, and controlling over her. She couldn't do shit without him, and there was a lot of, I guess, rape. Can you say that?
You can say rape. You can say
Okay,
rape.
there was
Allegedly, you raped her.
allegedly, like, a lot of sexual assault type stuff. And it wasn't just from Diddy. There were other people,
Oh,
you know,
really?
yeah, supposedly, you know, and again recording it and stuff like that. So that was the bulk of it. There were several things, several different counts coming against him. And then at 19 hours later, they settled.
That's crazy.
And
I feel like you don't want your demons to be shown
bruh,
in
the
public.
attorney was like, I do cases all the time.
Oh,
And
the pretty black lady with do the
yeah,
civil cases and do a divorces. I did see that. I did
you
listen to her
said,
breakdown. Yes.
yeah. So she was like, you got billions of dollars and you don't want to spend a couple mil to prove that this lady's lying about you. Come on, bruh.
And I hear people saying that, oh, it was all about the money. It was all about the money. She took the money, so it couldn't have been that bad. She's lying. But at the same time, she knew what door she opened. Because
Yeah,
within a matter of days, you got 2 more people coming out. Even though she may not be going to fight that case in front of people, the other people were going to come forward about abuse, because an abuser is not going to just do it to one person. It's a pattern.
yeah,
It's they've done to multiple people. So yeah, she may not
yeah,
have. She's sitting on whatever the settlement was. We don't know if it's the
right.
30 million that she was asking for or whatever it is, but a lot of that's probably going to go into therapy.
Child.
I
And
can
then
only.
they started showing clips and stuff from them
Did you see
being
the one
out
like
and
when they were at
about.
Met Gala and he like pulled her
Yes,
close when she was talking to I
yes,
think his name is Andre.
yes.
He's a gay man. Like what you why did
Right.
you
That's what I was
that
thinking. Like,
intimidated you talking to him? Like what about
yeah,
that just showed like the possessiveness of it all is crazy.
yeah. It is
Like
wild. It is wild.
looking at people's toxic behaviors, and I like my friends was like, I don't believe it all. Maybe some of it's true. I was like, I don't put anything by someone with money, with lots of
Yeah.
money and lots of high power.
But also, you got to think about who we're talking about. You know how many celebrities and stuff have alluded to that man being the
Having
epitome
sex,
of Hollyweird,
allegedly having sexual acts with men and all type of stuff.
all
Listen,
type
it
of
started
stuff.
with Superhead or Karine Stephen, whatever her name is, book, because I read both of them books, like where I'm like, oh, what? Diddy sleeping with me? And back then, was that almost 20 years ago? It was like,
Yeah.
is that really true? Now you like, nah, you got
Yeah.
this is the power. To the point
Yeah.
where they looking into the ex-wives, like I
Yeah.
mean not the ex-wife, she wasn't an ex-wife, the children's mothers,
Yeah. Porter.
um, Kim Porter's death because she was about to
Yeah.
do a tell-all book.
Yeah. And then this other lady, I'm not familiar with this person, but apparently she knows about all that stuff. And she was talking about how Diddy started a whole what do you call it? Label.
Oh, uh-huh.
Everybody on that started that label is dead except for Diddy. You don't find that
That's
suspicious?
crazy. That's crazy.
It's a
Like,
lot. It's a lot, but basically I don't put it past him.
I feel like it's the beginning of the end. It's gonna
For
be
him?
like, yes.
No, I don't think it's the end of nothing.
You think that power is gonna stay up that high? Or he's gonna continue fighting his demons? Like
I just feel like what celebrity, well, R. Kelly. I say what celebrity went down, but R. Kelly kind of did go
Bill
down.
Cosby went to jail, bruh.
Bill Cosby did go down.
America's Dad went to jail.
Yeah. So maybe,
You know, so you just never know. But about like, I can only imagine what she's going through every day, trying to be a mother after this to her children, trying to be a wife, like the triggers and traumas. Like, how does her husband have to move to deal with her? Because
Mm,
people who have layers, no matter how much you have a trigger to things that have affected you in life. I'm gonna give you an example. Someone called me recently and they were mentioning someone in my life that did some fucked up ass shit to me.
mm,
And every time I talk to this person, they would mention them. And I'm like, why do you always fucking mention them to me? And I was like, you
Mhm.
know, this is what happened, right? And they're like, no, I never knew that happened. So every time I talked to this person, they would trigger me
Mm.
with with talking about this person who did some fucked up shit to me. And I'm like, why are you mentioning this fucking person to me? Fuck if they live or they die. And you want to talk about them to me? I don't care.
Right.
And something said, ask them, do they know? They were there, but they may not know. So I asked them and they were like, no, I had no clue. I'm so like, they apologized so many times and I heard the sincerity in their voice. That was like a freeing thing because I was actually really get mad where I wouldn't even want to talk to them when they call. And our conversations are
Mm.
so far and few between because you would trigger me every time talking about this person. And it was just me like trying to tell me how they doing. And I don't give a fuck. But they didn't realize
Right.
I didn't give a fuck because I didn't
Yeah.
say anything. But that was definitely a trigger, a trauma to me. I'm like, people, and like even with dating, you have to. That's
Mm-hmm.
why it's important to get to know people's backgrounds, where they
Yeah.
came.
But see, I feel like it's also very challenging to figure that stuff out early enough sometimes because you don't really get that deep rooted stuff until you get into some deep stuff, like, deeper into the relationship. So, like, that's why for me, it's so important to see them red flags and be like, mm, mm, whoop, you out of here because I don't want to get too deep, with that stuff. It's
Right.
scary. So I feel like you can't even ask them either. Like, hey, what are your traumas? What are your triggers? Like, that's not a thing for
No, because
real.
nobody's gonna. If somebody asks
The-
me what my triggers and traumas are, you asking me what my triggers and traumas are. But that was my triggers and traumas. Like that's what it's gonna be like. But because who's
right.
gonna just openly display? Those are conversations that happen over time as people peel back their to even trust you with
Exactly.
their
Exactly.
traumas.
And then it's still not going to come up until there's a problem in which that trauma manifests itself. And then you could be like, what's up with that? Like, why is this? Why are you right? And then they may or may not open up and be like, okay, so this is what happened. It's probably why people don't tend to do that for real.
And we
So
live in a
you don't.
society who don't culture who don't believe in mental health and going to get help, especially our men.
Oh my god.
So they may not even understand why they're doing it.
And they don't care to figure it out either. That's the thing that be pissing me off.
I remember asking someone and they said, was it why they drink a lot? I was like, well, why don't you go get help? It was like, no, I don't need no help. It ain't gonna help me. Well, how you know it's not gonna help you if you ain't never had no help? You didn't try. You're not trying to. And it was a black male, and I was just like, oh. And it was somebody else's boyfriend, so it was like, hey, good luck with that, because because he don't even want help. He about to listen. He gonna drink his sorrows away.
Like, come on, bro. At some point, you gotta figure out like this ain't right. I'm broke. I'm broken. I need to do some healing. Like, at what point?
I dated someone that for years I didn't realize how messed up their relationship with their mother was.
Mm,
And I realized that because they never felt loved by their mother, that what I was giving them was abnormal to them. It was
hmm
not something that they were used to receiving. It looked abnormal. They're used to love feeling painful, and me just pouring and giving is not what they're used to. So therefore, it's not received well. So their fact that I'm loving you how I'm used to be loved, because to me, the first people who love your parents.
Right.
And that's to me where you felt like I've never questioned whether my parents love me or not. So when I hear people question whether their parents love them or not, I'm like, the layers of trauma. So you are
Yeah.
either going to duplicate that trauma to your children, or you're going to either try to make it better and overcompensate.
Right.
So me loving that person and them knowing how to receive love or what love looks like caused me a lot of pain, because I'm pouring my love into them and they're pouring pain into me, because that's what love looks like to them. It looks painful. And
Mm,
that's crazy.
that's wild.
Like when you think about like somebody who's their mother is the start of their love, and they never felt like their mother loved them. So that's pain. So someone is
Yeah.
giving you their love and you're telling your love. So love to you looks like pain. So I'm going to cause this person pain because that's how I show love. Fucked up.
Woo! That is so far fucked up. Oh
And
my
it's
God.
unfair. It's very unfair to the other people, but we just never know. And I try to give people the benefit of the doubt and think outside of the box. And that's probably another reason I don't just cut people off automatically, because
Mm,
where do they come from? What is their background? What are they used to seeing? What are they used to doing? Like, do their parents have friends? Do their parents talk to them fucked up? Is that why like
yeah.
that? Like, because this
But
generational curses is
yeah, I get that. I understand that totally because I feel like people act the way they do for a reason. Something happened along the way, right? But at the same time, you gotta take accountability and realize you grown now. And so those traumas, you gotta get them fixed to be able to move through life as a high functioning, emotional, stable, person. Because yes, I understand people have traumas and all this, but that doesn't mean I have to accept it because you've had this trauma and that's why you like that. That's like,
very
oh
true.
yeah, I get my ass beat by my man. But it's okay because he got beat, and that's why he's like
And
that.
he saw his mama get beat. And so
So
they just, it's
that's what it
normal.
is. Like,
Listen, I'm gonna
no,
tell
sir.
anybody. You talk to me. My daddy didn't whoop me. I'd be damned if a dude gonna put his hands on me. Okay, listen.
Like, no, sir. So, yes, I get it. Like, you want to understand, and it's important for them to understand why, so they can get back to the root and fix it, not so they could justify and use it as an excuse as to why they like that, and they just like that, and that's it. No, no, no.
That's insane to me. Like, it's those things that people don't even realize you pass on to your children.
Yeah.
You pass it on, the hurt and pain of not feeling love to your children because you don't know how to show the love. Like, and once again, I feel like people either duplicate or they change. Like, my parents were never very huggy. My parents are never very lovey, but I love on my child so much. It's crazy. Like, and it's funny because there's times where I'd be like shunning her and she'd be like, "Tell me you love me." I'm like, "Okay, I love you." But she knows a joke, you know what I'm saying? Like, she hears I love you every day from me.
Hmm. Yeah.
I remember when I told my father I was pregnant. So if you know that my father was very religious, I had a baby out of wedlock. I was pregnant. I was scared to tell, and I'm bawling my eyes out. It's not dripping type telling him, and he gave me a hug and told me he loved you, but the hug was not the embrace. Like, my father was never like a tight hug person. It was like, all right, you're all right. Like, it's okay. It was nothing like, let me hold you and let you know it's gonna be. So I
You
think that's
know,
true. Probably
yeah.
like I like hugs.
Yeah, I think that's so common with black men because even so we went to visit a friend of mine from college and he has two kids now. One is a boy's about 3, and then like a brand new baby girl. She's so beautiful. Anyway, and they were talking, him and his wife were talking about how the little boy doesn't really hug on him. The little boy be like, all right, you kind of close dog, back on up type of thing. Like when it's time for bed, because they have a new baby. So now he's doing more hands-on with the older kid. And he's like, come and lay down and let's go to bed. And he's like, I'm gonna sleep over here. And I'm like, but why is
Really?
that? Do you feel like it stems from you, the dad, not embracing him as he's been growing up these past 3 years? And the wife was like, "I think that has to do with it. I think that's a part of it because as he was, developing
Hmm.
and growing, it was always mommy holding on to him and hugging him and stuff. And daddy was probably like, yo, dog, you good? He know how to do the pound. He pound, he
Right, because
pound.
that's how they communicated. They pound
Like,
like, so. That's
yeah, it's a socialized thing with men, black men. I don't know about other races that they just to other males, they keep that space because as guys grow up, they're like, don't cry, cry, be a man, suck it up. It's okay.
listen,
You got
and that
this.
pisses me off because this is why men can't cry. This is why they hold all this stuff in and they're exploding. But you want us black women to come in, or not even gonna say black women, period, to come in, try to nurture and coddle these situations where they're not giving us enough to nurture. Like listen, it's so many layers to being triggered in trauma, and especially in our men. Not not even women too, because I'm triggered. This is probably why I haven't dated in a while, is because I didn't need anything. I didn't want to take my past relationship and project it onto my next relationship, and I knew that. And I definitely know I should probably be in therapy to unleash that. And I recently realized, like, I'm free. I'm free of that pain. I'm free. Like, and it probably took me to actually see the person again. Like, yeah, this is really, really over. Like, I really don't even like you like that. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
attracted to you anymore, not mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm also questioning my sanity and whether I was for dealing with you and your slowness for so long. And I
Mm,
think that was very freeing for me, where now I can be like, I can actually go on to date and be like, okay, this is what I want or don't want.
yeah.
Because being in a relationship for a long time with someone and giving someone your all and being not giving what you need, not love properly because they don't know how to love,
Right.
causes you not to trust anybody else to love you. Like, you're not
Yeah.
gonna love me the way I need to love you.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
I don't even think it stops at relationships, friendships,
friendships.
child, work, career stuff will have you traumatized, and just in just different ways in different areas of your life. And I feel like they all show up. So I'm traumatized at work, and then that can fall into my friendship or my relationship, or traumatized with my relationship. And now that's impacting how I deal with my friendships. It's just so much that we all have to constantly be watching and analyzing and like trying to make sure we're good. And I think the key is recognizing it though. When we don't recognize, like, oh, that was a trigger, right? We just go through doing
Right.
stuff and reacting, not realizing, like, girl, it wasn't that serious. You may want to look into that, why you reacted that way,
My
right?
my friend texted me when we were getting Bowley Untitled together. And because we were like, let's just do it. And we did things so fast. When we both couldn't find the Instagram page. And we looked at this Instagram page and we're like, why find the Instagram page? And it was because when I created it, it was an L left out of it. But we had looked at so many boldly untitled things within that 24-hour time span that neither one of us could see it. And you are the writer, the word person, and neither one of us could figure out what it was. So friend texted me and was like, um, this is not spelled right. And I'm looking at it and I still couldn't see it. What was wrong with it? And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what's left out of it? She like, you can't see it. That shit was a trigger for me, because in a previous job, it was a situation where I left a semicolon out of something, and my boss, instead of telling me like, hey, it should be a semicolon in between this space, well, you can't see it again. You look again. Like, if you tell me where it goes, then I'm gonna put it. Why are you sending me back and forth? This is an unnecessary exchange. So that it made me feel belittled, like how he made me
Mm-hmm.
feel belittled in that situation. So it made me pop off on her. And I had to
Mm-hmm.
tell her, I was like, I was triggered. And this is why I was triggered. Because clearly,
Yeah,
if I didn't fix it, I don't see it.
right. You know what? That's crazy you brought that up, because I'm like that, especially with my kids. And I realized, because I had to sit down with my son, like, let's talk. And basically, as a result of that conversation, he was like, I didn't want to say anything because I feel like you already knew the answer. Why are you asking me that? And I did know the answer, but I wanted him to tell me. But he was like, I just felt like it was stupid. I was like, wow, you're right. I could have just said what we both already knew, but I drew it out, and I'm like, ugh, Mel, stop. Why do you do that? Right. And part of it is that sense of like belittling the other person. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like, I've been really working on all these things. Thank God for my children, right? Because they're showing me like, mom, we don't got to do
That's
all that.
unnecessary. This uncalled for
Totally
behavior.
completely unnecessary. It could have been like, hey, I just saw you did that, versus what did you just do?
Right.
So yeah. But I that type of stuff, I really when people are giving me feedback, I'm really trying to figure out, okay, yeah, no, Mel, you don't have to do that. Let's make a change. So it's just me always actively like trying to be better as
Working
I
on being
grow
a better
older.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because I don't want to be that old person that nobody wants to be around. That like you like I don't want to be that person. So like let me tell me why I did wrong. Like listen, me and my friends have this thing. My mother's, make sure she's not anywhere around me listening. I don't think she listens to the podcast because she doesn't know how to get to it. Um, and all of our parents are born in the year of 53, same year. And we say that these people have a behavior that is so toxic and narcissistic behavior. And I'm like, I don't want to carry that type of behavior to my child and have them triggered and traumatized and things like that. Like, I'm just, listen, where she like, oh my God, oh my God. And I do find myself being like my mother sometimes, and I'm like, oh, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. I know that's not the
mm,
relationship I want to have. Me and my mother have a great relationship, and I feel like me and my daughter have a great relationship. But it's certain things that I just want to pass on
yeah, I feel that.
because they're triggers for me. Where and she'd be like, "Why you being so mean? Because you just triggered me, and I'm popping off." Like,
Mhm.
but
So when you have these triggers and you know that they're triggers, how do we prevent it from happening the next time? So it's not constantly you trigger me, I'm triggered, react. You trigger me, I'm triggered, react. Trigger, right? Like how do we break
I
that
think it's
now and be like,
communication with people too. Like, and
yeah,
once again, I saw something that says the world is not responsible for your triggers,
that's
which is very
facts.
true. Which is
That's
very
facts.
true.
That's why, real quick on that, I'm on that fuck them kids movement where, whatever. And it's like certain people on that when I was on Facebook, it would be certain people on my timeline. And it's like, oh, well, this person might be triggered if I say that because they're trying to have kids and they can't, they have a struggle. But meanwhile, I have 3 kids and I'm like, fuck them kids and all this. That's your experience. And this is my experience. So whatever I got going on has absolutely nothing to do with you and vice versa. And I'm not saying I don't get triggered by other people. I get triggered by stuff too. And I'd be like, ooh. And I was like, you know what? I gotta go. So I deactivated my Facebook because I didn't want that constant trigger. You feel me? So I feel like people have the liberty to do and say whatever the hell they want on social media, especially. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're triggered, you need to figure that out on your own. I'm not gonna stop what I'm saying because it's my
Listen,
experience.
then I had a friend's spouse delete me because they didn't like what I said on my social media. But I didn't even
Great.
say anything in particular. I literally posted something and was like, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it was the other people's comment. So my friend was also it bothered her. So she called me and told me that that it wasn't my post in general that bothered her. It was the comments that people were leaving under my post. And that was communication. So even though I can't control what other people say on my post, has nothing to do with me. And what I said was not offensive to me. I didn't believe I was being offensive, and she didn't say I was being offensive. But
Hmm.
because you are my friend and you communicated this to me, I'm going to delete the whole post because what you're telling me and I value you means that. So I feel like when it's people close to you, you can let them know what things trigger you, what things
Yeah.
bother you, and so they can move accordingly. I feel like no, you're not I'm not going to set the whole social media based off of like I remember like once again we know you are fertile Myrtle. You have no problem popping out these kids. Okay, when you wanted
Right.
a child, you got pregnant within a couple months, and you got
Yep.
pregnant with two.
3 months.
Two. That's what happens. I'm my baby. You got two. God said, "Let me double bless you."
Yeah.
And had a moment where you were like, all these people around me are trying to get pregnant and dealing with fertility issues. And I'm just over here. And I was like, that's not your problem.
Yeah.
It sucks. And it doesn't mean that you don't have to have empathy for them. But at the same time, you can't take that burden of feeling bad because you can bear children.
Right. Right.
So I feel like, yes, you can, there's a level of sensitivity you can have for people in your life. But I feel like it's way too many people in this world to walk
Right.
around. You will go.
You
What
be
are you
mute.
walking around?
Yeah. Can't say
You walk
nothing.
around muted because you can't say anything because everything is a trigger, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we already live in a hypersensitive world where you say the wrong thing and you are canceled, deleted,
Yeah.
everything. Like, you don't say anything too wrong about don't black, or having a disagreement with a situation that involves black people or poverty or sexuality or anything
Yeah.
without you having the possibility of being sold. Where before social media, you can have an opinion. You just agree to disagree.
Right.
But now it becomes the biggest issue. And once again, I feel like a communication with people who are close to you, if they are doing something with your triggers, like if it's your spouse, hey, when you
Yeah.
do this, it makes me feel this way. This, I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't, this is, and I feel like sometimes going deeper and talking about it and talking it out will make them
Right.
better understand. Because some people just don't understand. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I just said
Yeah.
XYZ.
Yeah.
And people, once again, we don't communicate well. We do not
Yeah.
communicate well at all. So we just take it in our head. Like, I was just talking to my best friend this morning, and she asked me about a situation, and I was like, I'm doing better. I'm trying to get better at telling people when things that they do affect me. I said, because I'm boiling inside from going so long without telling people things that they do that hurt me or bother me. And I was like, if I don't tell them, it's not their problem because they don't know.
Right.
They can't do anything to change it. That's the same thing with the triggers and traumas. Like, respectfully, if somebody or somebody comes to you, go like, hey, that bothered me. You can change your, I didn't know. I'm
Right.
sorry. But it's
Yeah.
effective communication with everybody. Like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
So
Especially people, like you said, that's close to you,
that's
that
close
you
to you. Now, if
love.
you random and you
And
roll in
love
my
you.
inbox, you might
Bro,
get
that's
cussed out.
different. Like, we have no real, you know, loyalty to each other, that, like, we ain't built no relationship. There's no trust. There's nothing. Like, I don't even know you,
I'm
ma'am.
gonna tell you to delete me. Delete me
That
now.
that part.
Block me. Or you know what? I'm not even gonna respond. I'm just gonna block you. My block game so strong, baby. I'm gonna just block you. Block. There we go. Problem
Yeah.
solved. You ain't gotta see nothing. You ain't gotta
That.
hear nothing.
I think the
It's
other
just
thing too, because I know I was watching something and they were like, just because, and I think you say this a lot, like, just because you don't agree that I should react this way doesn't mean I still don't feel this way. Like, right?
yeah.
And it's something
Don't tell
that
me how to feel.
yeah.
Don't tell me how to feel is my saying.
And I'm working on that with my marriage because, he'll trip on stupid stuff and I'm like, that's dumb, whatever. And dismiss. And I feel like vice versa. He'd be like, I don't understand why you tripping, like, this is dumb. And I'm like, hey, babe, let's not do that to each other. Right? Let's not dismiss each other because you feel that way for a reason. And I feel this way for a reason. And let's try to figure out, you know what I mean, why we feel that way versus dismissing each other like, you tripping, you overreacting, you acting crazy and all this. Let's really, like, not dismiss each other. Let's really try to learn why we feel the way we feel.
That
So I'm
was one of
also
my
working on
biggest
that.
issues in my ex relationship. I would tell him something, and he would be like, "That's crazy. Like, you shouldn't feel that way. Don't tell me how to feel. I'm telling you how something made me feel," which is a major trigger for me, for someone to tell you, if you want to see me pop off, tell me how to
Mhm.
feel. That is like a major trigger for me, because in that relationship, I couldn't say how I felt. And it also made me shut down and not communicate in a relationship, because if every time I tell you how something makes me feel, it's dismissed, like, no, you shouldn't feel
Mhm.
that way. You how it made me feel.
Yeah, it creates an emotional unsafe atmosphere. So you don't feel emotionally safe with this person. So, like, how can you grow with somebody that you can't even be emotionally vulnerable with?
You can't.
Like, you got to
And
be
that's
able to
friendships
express
too.
that stuff.
That's relationships, any type of with your
Yeah.
friendship, with your relationship. Like, it's, if I can't tell you how I feel, this ship is going to sink.
Mhm. That's
Because what
facts.
am I talking? Or I'm going to take that emotion and I'm gonna give it to somebody else who's going to
Mm-hmm.
listen to me and make me feel safe because I try to tell you how this makes me feel and you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So when you don't care, what do you want me to do?
Right.
It's somebody in my life where I didn't realize how guarded they were.
Mm-hmm.
And as they start unpeeling their layers for me to get to know them, it made things a lot clearer of why they act the way they act, why they move the way they move, why they dress the way they dress. Everything about them changed once they were opened up. And I realized like I'm probably one of the only people in life that they opened up to
Mm.
because they're so guarded. And even in their own home, it's not a safe place how they feel because when they say how they feel, it is disregarded. So, their significant other may feel a type of way towards me, like when you tell Shawny everything and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's a safe space. It's not
Yeah.
disregarded there. So now, where I should be safe at home to talk to you, I'm not safe to talk to you because you disregard everything. And it once again, as I can't tell them how to feel, even if I don't agree with how they feel about a certain situation. And it's funny because me and them got into it because they told me how to feel about something, and I popped off, and they were like, "I'm sorry," because when you said that, it made sense because I don't like when people do that to me and tell me how to feel. So it's one of those things
Mm-hmm.
where now they don't move that way when when I'm pissed off. They don't tell me how to feel. Like your feelings are
Right.
valid because they're feelings. They're just that they are feelings.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
once again, that's a trigger for me. Don't tell me how.
Yeah.
So,
And I think, what you said about like those are feelings. I think feelings are totally separate than your reaction.
mm-hmm.
And I think we just automatically take our feelings and put it right into that reaction. And now we
Right.
acting out of that emotion, that feeling. And that's not always best.
That's something I'm working on in life. Is not just reacting when I'm in feelings.
Yeah.
Let me figure out how to communicate this to you because I am younger me. Let me
Yeah.
pop off. Like let me tell you instantly and go the fuck off. Where once I go off, you're not really hearing me. You
Yeah.
heard
It's
one or two
yeah,
sentences, maybe the whole gist of what I'm
maybe.
doing.
And then
So
you
let
heard
me
all the hurtful things and you heard all the disrespect. That's all you heard.
all because there's gonna be some disrespect in there. I'm not even
That
God
part.
working
That
on me.
part.
It's gonna be some disrespect when I'm going for your soul when I
Ooh.
say it. Okay. Um. So you didn't hear me. Like I just
No.
so I was about to tell a story of some disrespectful shit I said. But I'm gonna leave that.
Yeah, I got some disrespectful shit too that I've said. I'm not proud of anymore.
Exactly.
Before I would be proud, like, yeah, that's what I said. Now I'm like,
Yeah. I shouldn't
mm,
have said that. People have feelings.
yeah, I didn't
You
have to say
know,
that.
like and he came back
Growth,
later
bitch,
like that's how
growth.
you feel. Baby, listen, that's what 40 look like. It looks like growth, okay? I feel like I'm doing a lot better with growing and trying to like guard my words and not pop off and not say everything because everything that I think doesn't have to come out my mouth. Where I used to be very much what comes up comes
Mhm.
out. Guard it now.
Yeah,
Like, why am I saying that? That don't
yeah,
affect nothing, don't change nothing. It don't even
yeah,
matter.
yeah. Facts, because it was a situation this weekend. I was like, okay. I was like, I don't have nothing to say. Cool deal.
That's what we talking about. For what? Like I
For
have
what?
gotten so much better with giving my like opinion towards people relationships towards it.
Yeah,
Listen, because I got to lay with that person at night.
yeah,
I don't. I love you, and when you get enough, as my mother always told me, only you know when you had enough. When you had enough of the, you will leave.
yeah.
So I will
Because
be your sounding board until I don't want to be a sounding board because I will stop talking to you if your sounding board goes off too long. But
at the end of the day, I feel like you're going to do what you got to do for your relationship,
mhm,
right? And I've seen it in older people, people of our generation, younger people. Like, if that's your person, y'all together, y'all married or whatever, that's what we should expect that you're going to kind of do or prioritize, right?
right,
No matter how we feel on the outside, like, That's bullshit. That's dumb as hell. Why the hell you here there with this person? Like that's not okay. But at the end of it all, people are always going to choose their significant other. That's what I've learned.
Listen,
Because I
listen.
know I'm choosing my man. So
Please choose your man because you got 3 kids and I can't help you.
so I can't I'm not about to put expectations on somebody else to like, you know what I mean? Not
Yep.
put their relationship first. I got my opinions, baby, but my opinion don't fucking
My
matter. I'm
don't
not in the
matter.
house with y'all. I'm not in the bed with y'all. I'm not
I'm not
paying
gonna pay
y'all
your
bills.
bill. Listen,
So do your thing,
don't listen.
player.
You know my favorite line, especially when it comes to relationships. Don't listen to me. I'm
Do
single as
you
fuck.
fuck?
Single as fuck. Don't listen to me. I don't know shit. Mm-mm. Best friend be so mad. Like, stop saying that dumb shit. Like, you ain't never been in a relationship. Like, your opinions or thoughts don't matter. I'm like, I just don't want you to be like, well, she the one who said it. Cause like, you see how Tyrese's ex-wife was like, it was so many people's opinions and friends here, and that's why I left my husband. That's insane
I
to me.
that's see. Look at you now. She regret it? Did she regret leaving him or
Girl, look
whatever?
like she did. I don't know. They that shit toxic as hell. I don't know what the hell going on with that Tyrese. There's only so
Yeah, I
much
don't know nothing
Tyrese in
about
his
that Tyrese
situation.
stuff.
Yes, she went. He did something, maybe at the Breakfast Club, and then after that, she came out saying that it was so many people's different opinions or in her ear of why she left her husband. So Tyrese went off like, that is not why. You had tried to secure the bag. We're having a baby. Yada yada yada. You ain't give a fuck about none of this shit when you was with
Oh
me.
shit.
Yeah, like whatever, you just a basket case and yada 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 yada. So then he went on
Damn.
Joe Budden, like, listen. Then he went on Joe Button's podcast and like blasted out. Like, I haven't had a chance to listen. Maybe I'll listen to that today. Um, but he went off. But like, I would never ever tell you to leave Jay. Unless Jay was just like whooping on your ass or something, and you coming to me with
Right.
black eyes, like, at least we living together or something. And then I'm gonna tell you, bitch, you need to get away before you die. And that's because
Yeah.
at that point,
Yeah.
your physical well-being is being threatened. But I'm never going to tell someone to leave their husband. Like, I'm just not.
Mhm.
I'm never going to. I'm never, because I can't tell you to leave your husband. I can't tell you to do that.
Yeah, exactly. But I know a couple people that need to just leave they person. But whatever. I'm
I
not gonna be
mean,
like, you need to
but you
leave.
ain't. But you ain't gonna tell them that. Like,
No, I'm
you
not gonna
should
say
really
that.
leave. I'm gonna
Like you
just sit
should
back
leave.
and watch the fire keep blowing up. Like,
You should leave that person. No, I'm not gonna say that because maybe you shouldn't leave. Maybe
maybe it's something
I
we
don't
don't
know.
see.
Right.
It's
Like
clearly
I
it's
said,
something we don't see if they're still with them and they've been with them for quite some time.
right.
And I
As
know people have to get the
dysfunctional as I think
courage.
it is, huh?
Some people have to get the courage to leave. Like, it's not an easy thing to leave a
That's
relationship,
facts. Yep.
especially I could only imagine a marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, is even worse than just a regular relationship. I remember having a friend, and we talked about her leaving for 2 years before she did it. Before she got the courage up to do it, he wasn't beating on her. She didn't catch him cheating or anything for real. She was just completely unhappy. She
Mm.
had small children at the time, and 2 years. I was
Mm.
just her listening ear before she was like, I'm done. And she walked away and never looked back. But it took the courage. And my
Yeah.
mother, once again, I will give my mother this. She has never been the one to be in her girls' relationships. Whether she liked
Mm.
them or didn't like them, she's never been like, you need to leave that nigga. That nigga ain't trash. It's trash. She's like, only you know when you had enough.
Yeah.
Only you know when you've had
That's
enough. So when
right.
you've had enough, you will gang
Yeah.
gang. I'm out. You will make a plan for you and your kids, and even if you don't, you're gonna figure it out along the way. There's
Yeah.
kids involved.
Yep. You're right. You're right.
I
For sure.
listen. I feel like those mother son triggers to me be the worst. The ones who didn't feel abandoned and not loved by
Mm.
their mother. I feel like those are the hardest barriers to break through because they're missing that first love of a mother. And even maybe with the
Mhm.
girls with the fathers, having those issues and not
Mhm.
feeling loved by them, or just parent issues in general. I would say
Yeah.
parent issues in general. If it's a girl and a mother, that may be her reason why she doesn't have female friends because she doesn't trust
Yep.
females.
Yep. Because the trust was broken with the first woman.
with the first person that's supposed to love you.
Yeah.
Listen, my ex broke with me a few months after my father died. And I looked at that nigga and said, all right, why? Because I just lost a man I know who loved me most. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, love, my heart is broken already. So there's nothing you can do to shatter it even more than it's already shattered. So I feel
Yeah.
like those relationships are important to build with your children because those are going to be the foundation of what's to
Yep.
come in their future of their relationships. When men don't trust women because they feel like their mothers abandoned them, they get into these marriages and their relationships and they're trash because realistically you don't trust this woman even though you married them. You may love them, but what they're giving you is not what you're used to receiving. So you're
Mm-hmm.
trash when it comes to that. You
But
don't know how to handle.
what about the people who don't like the men who don't like women?
Who just
There's a
bitter and
whole
angry, like
yeah.
the
They don't
He-Man woman haters, like with spank
but like they'll have like a wife or whatever, but in reality they really don't like her.
women, right?
Yeah.
Women and what they stand for and everything. Like they
Yeah.
just angry and bash women all the time. They just want somebody to take care of their ass. They want the mama because those are the
Yeah.
women to me that be at home doing the extra cooking, the extra cleaning, the extra trying to take care of them, but they're really
They're
never
getting
catering to that needs.
yeah. They're getting the benefits of having that woman, but in reality they don't really like them.
No, they like the benefits of having sex. They like the benefits of having somebody that's
Yeah.
going to cook for
And
them,
have it
clean for
yeah.
them, continue their legacy with a child. But realistically, I hate when somebody has fucked me up in my life, and I feel like all you bitches is trash. So get on over there in the trash pile.
Not the
I'm gonna
trash
treat
part.
you like trash too. And they do.
That
Like those are the women who I feel like they are undervalued completely in their relationship.
yeah. But then there's something to say about that woman because you don't see that you're being undervalued. And if you see it, you just going, this what we gonna do?
It
You know
could
what I
be one of
mean?
those things where they say it could be a couple things. It could be they have daddy issues. It could be that they deep in with children. Maybe that
Mhm.
person is a breadwinner of finances. Is that they don't even know how to get out of it now.
Yeah.
Like I question myself in my relationship, like what made me stay in a situation so long that was not ever going to get better. It was the
Mhm.
same toxic. I don't have daddy issues. I don't have mama issues. What issues made me what made me
Mhm.
say this? Like I went to therapy and I, told her and I had broke down some couple things with her. And
Mhm.
she was like, well, why would you want to marry them? Why would you want to be with them? And I to her. And then I
Mhm.
realized like this shit, I don't know why. There's nothing that he brings to the table that makes me want to marry him. Because this is not what I see in a husband. This is not what I've
Mhm.
seen from a man as what like I feel like I have amazing black men in my family who are husbands and fathers
Mhm.
and providers to their wives that this is not the norm. So why am I in this
So
situation?
why you yeah.
Shit is stupid. And I still ain't figured this shit out.
Yeah, you should figure that out because it's probably some other deep rooted childhood shit,
Some deep
child,
shit that I
that
have not
you
uncovered,
never
suppressed.
mhm. Mhm. Because I know
Ready for that.
when I went to therapy one time, I restarted like 4 or 5 times. But he was like, "Tell me about your childhood." It was straight. And then when I started breaking down, I was like, "My shit was unstable as fuck." My shit wasn't stable and straight. Like, shit was not it wasn't, like, traumatic, horrible, but, like, it wasn't very stable at all, and I was like, "That's something new. I wonder how that shows up now." I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
there's things that we don't recognize are things that impact us now. We don't even tie back
Don't think
together. Yeah,
no, no, no. That is that work on self that people need to really do.
we don't do enough. Yes.
Like I definitely know that I personally should get back in therapy. like the healing and work and learning what I want in my next relationship. But it's also layers of my life that need to be healed and fixed. And I need to talk through and get, work out with somebody who is a non-binary, that's a sexual orientation, non-biased or whatever. Somebody to help me. Shit. That's how my week is going, and it's only Monday. That's how it's going.
Yes.
Stupid.
I need a refill on my drink.
What is that? It looks like eggnog. And I know you don't even drink eggnog, so I don't know what that is.
No, it's like
Punch
a
and cream?
No. It's not creamy.
Oh, maybe that's the frosty looking cup.
It's probably the frost. But
Oh,
it's
it is the cross to
creamy.
making it look creamy. It looks like eggnog from here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me continue to hydrate because that's all I got for you. Because
That's good. That's smart. That's smart. You need hydration. You feel me?
yeah, because we record too early for me to be drinking and
Hey,
recording because the rest of the day it'd be messed up for me. But I'm a featherweight, so
it's all good. To each his own. To each his own. But yeah, child.
Should have brought a therapist on for this. I guess could have brought Drew back because she's a therapist, but
potentially. But I think we hit on some good points.
I do too. I think it's one of those things where being aware of your triggers and realizing like, why did I react to that? So the hard question of why did I react like that? Why did that put me in my feelings? Why is it, why?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people
I got
dealing with things.
Couple unresolved questions like that about myself. Like, why do I, why does that make me feel like that? Oh. But definitely the help of, like you said, an unbiased party, third party.
Yeah.
With the tools and the
non-biased.
expertise.
That's why I couldn't get it. Unbiased, not non-biased. That was the prefix that I needed was not non.
Hey, it's a lot of prefixes, so don't worry about it, sweetheart. You good.
How you feeling about this break? What's coming up with this Christmas holiday? You got it all planned out? Are you ready?
The Christmas
Take
holiday
a
break? Yeah, I'm ready. Definitely ready to leave up out of here and enjoy myself with my family, mi familia.
My daughter will be 18 next year, so I have told her this is the last Christmas we're doing with the family. That I'd rather take a vacation because she'll be technically grown. So let's take a trip. Let's enjoy experiences. The money I put into everybody else, I can put into being on an island and having a mojito on the beach and feel just as great. So, because,
That's what's up.
That's where
I
I'm at
feel
with
that
Christmas.
because you know what? Life is just a bunch of memories, my husband would say. That's all life is. A bunch of memories.
I am very much big on it. And I had my child has never got a bunch of birthday gifts. I feel like the experiences and memories for her birthdays where she can probably recall like what she did for her birthdays. Like it wasn't a bunch of gifts. Like she really only gets gifts at Christmas. So when she turns 18, let's create more experiences. Let's create new traditions. Unless I find her a new daddy in the process, then we got to see what he wants.
Is this the cue for your?
Oh yes, this is my cue.
Classified ad.
For my ad.
That classified ad, I feel like is so dating me. But what would you call it now? Like
Did you just say classified ad?
Yes. But that's what it used to be called back in the day. When you would literally put an ad in the newspaper looking for a mate.
It was ads in the newspaper for mates.
I like that joke about I like long walks on the beach. That was you. It's called classified ads, and you would be like, "I'm looking for a partner. I'm this, that you describe." You don't know what. That's why you keep saying it. That's here we go with the classified ads.
I didn't realize that people put classified. Can I put a classified ad in the newspaper? podcaster
Well,
looking
first
for
of
mate.
all, what newspaper? Let's start there.
Oh, you're right. They don't even exist anymore.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like, what
So
is
that's
it
why
called
the
now?
dating sites. Okay, so this is just my my call to action. Hello. I like. Listen, hear me. Hey, listen. If you happy and healed, you have
Yes.
addressed your triggers and some trauma, in
Yes.
with a therapist, a licensed professional.
Yes.
Okay, not just a life coach, with a licensed professional who can help you heal those triggers and traumas. And you have addressed them, and you are ready to date. You got your stuff together. Okay, holla at your girl. You know my DM is open.
Oh my God. You a fool. All right. Well, this is it until next year. I'll see you in 2024.
We'll see you in January 2024. Watch us, tune in, listen to it. Get us through. Let us get you through the holidays with the episodes. But we will see you in January. Thank you for this season of Boldly Untitled.
It's been great.
It has. It's been
Coming back bigger and better, baby.
it
Season 2, baby.
with a better mic. You're gonna hear me all good next season. Right here. Okay. Better mic.
Deuces.
Gang gang. Do you have a topic or question for Melly Mel and Shawny? Well, email us at boldlyuntitledpodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Foley_Untitled_, on Facebook at Foley Untitled Podcast, and on YouTube at Foley Untitled Podcast.